meet my bride. Let's go for a ride in my newfangled automobile. Just where we will go, nobody knows, but it's sure a great way to feel. Behind the wheel of the speed meter steel, it's my newfangled automobile. Hello and welcome to Vintage Car History. I'm Wild Bill. Now, a few months ago, I posted a video about Amédée Bollee. It was episode 11, if you want to check it out. And it ended with a promise that we'd hear about his sons. Well, that day has come. And although all of his sons did go into the car business, one in particular stood out. Not only for his ingenuity and inventiveness, but as a mechanical genius as well, and a mathematical one. This son of Amédée was in fact the first to ever build a gas-powered car in France. And his influence in the early automotive industry was absolutely profound. So let's look at the man whose legend continues to this day, Léon Bollee. He was the second son of Amédée Bollee, the first being also named Amédée, just like the grandfather who was also Amédée. Yeah, popular firstborn name amongst the bell makers. Léon was born in 1870 into a family of wealth and industrial expertise. And growing up both in the bell factory and the steam coach factory his father created, the opportunities for a young engineering and business genius to explore such things were abound. He was barely weaned when his papa went into the steam coach production, and as a very young boy watched, and as much as he could participated, in this development. Like a cat chasing lights on a disco stage, young Léon attacked every aspect of his father's companies with vigor, most likely learning more from this than any university of the time could teach him. And he had access to the tools and machines so he could tinker. He had already seen what his father's steam coaches could do, and at the age of 14 decided to try something himself. Designing and building the thing himself, he borrowed from them then the current bicycle technology to make a pedal-powered boat, after which he could be seen pedaling around the Sarthe River, which of course runs through his hometown of Le Mans. He also loved math, and at age 17 started to design and build mechanical calculators, specifically direct multiplying machines. These machines could figure out math faster than anything else. Imagine a machine that in its core is an automatic abacus. Yeah, Charles Babbage would have been proud. France was proud as well. The Paris Exposition of 1889, you've heard me mention quite often, well, he presented his calculating machine at the exhibition, won a gold medal, and was even approached by Thomas Edison to come work for him. Léon, of course, told him not a chance. But young Léon wanted to make cars. He saw them at the Paris World Fair and wanted a piece of the action. Though he did continue for a few years developing and patenting his calculators, the idea of gas-powered car, as opposed to the steam ones his father made, was a seed that germinated something fierce. So in 1885, in Le Mans, France, Léon Bollee, with the help of his older brother Amédée, designed and built the first gas-powered car to be built in France. A three-wheeler, it could seat 3 persons comfortably. Powered by a single-cylinder engine of his brother's design, producing 3 horsepower, it drove the rear wheels through belts and a 3-speed gearbox. It was light, well-powered for the time, and quite quick, able to reach speeds of 28 miles an hour, flat out, or 45 kilometers. The following year, using the facilities of his father's factory, he went into production, naming his car the Voiturette. Consider this name. Voiturette in French means little carriage or little car. When Léon named his car thusly, and since it was the first of its kind in France, the name stuck. Voiturette was the term pretty much used worldwide to describe a small car, much like the words coupe and sedan. But both of those terms existed before the car, but not Voiturette. Léon was the first to name a model of car, and the very name of that model became an industry standard worldwide for decades, and still is used in parts of Europe. Not only was this the first Voiturette, It was also the first car to be offered for sale to the public with pneumatic tires as standard. And they went with Michelin's. Leon continued to tweak the overall design and stability of the car, and by 1897, one of his Voiturettes clocked over 100 kilometers per hour. That's 62 miles per hour. His little cars were also fast, and the racing bug, already sparked by his father's racing at the 1895 Paris-Bordeaux-Paris race, just made his wheels turn faster. He's starting racing his cars as well, winning the Paris Trovel race of 1897. His first four-wheeler came in 1899. With an engine tweaked to produce 3.5 horsepower, this car was light, powerful for the time, had not only pneumatic tires, but also independent suspension. When all added together, it made for quite a good race car. And indeed, some famous racers, most notably Alexander Durac, took much interest in them, either driving them or copying them clandestinely for their own cars. The cars designed by Leon and the engines designed by his brother were a dominant force in the racing world during the Victorian era. Not only were they fast, but they were very reliable. Leon and his cars raced all over Europe, winning trophy after trophy. Now, the beautiful cars that the Bollee company produced after the turn of the century we'll get into in later episodes, but for now, keep in mind that it is because of the automotive dynasty that was Bollee that today we have a race that is called the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Thanks for watching Vintage Car History, and we'll see you next week. Peace.